Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge, tell you what I think is good and bad in there. I'm going to show you a really cool invasion team, and a Underspire team too, but let's start off by looking at the weekly event Glory Shop Troop, which is the Goblin Pickpocket. And let's take a look, a Zaijin Ultra Rare. Choose an enemy. In fact, no, you don't choose an enemy, because this game was programmed or written by 7-year-olds. You chose an enemy, apparently. So chose an enemy, then destroy 4 gems with one of their mana colours boosted by my gold, then gain 10 gold and an extra turn. So the spell's not too bad. Destruction of gems is going to be guaranteed mana, and you get that extra turn as well. And the more gold you get, the more that gets boosted up. So there are ways of actually increasing your gold pretty quickly with certain teams. So it could be okay. Not too bad at all. I'm going to give that a fairly reasonable 7 out of 10, because some of the things you have to kind of test them first to see how good they really are. But a tentatively a pretty decent goblin there, the extra turn being very good indeed. So make sure you get this all the way out to Mythic if you've got the spare glory, and say thank you, Tar. Anyway, one of my subscribers in a comment the other day said they were going to unsubscribe because apparently I tell too many bird jokes. Well, 2 can play at that game. Do you see? 2 can play at that game. 2 can. Big thing with bills, with big bill. 2 can. Yes. Right, before I get going, just want to plug my new channel quickly, the AI Oracle. I'll leave a link in the description below, but it's a really good idea for a new channel, I think. It's entirely run by AI. It chooses literally everything. I'll just input what it tells me to do. It shows everything from the name of the channel to the banner design. It creates the thumbnail. It chooses what to talk about. It decides who to reply to in the comments and what to say. It decides what subjects to talk about, and it even makes its own description. It's nuts. So pop over to there, because it's really interesting to see how far that can go, and ask it some mind-bending questions as well, because I want to see how AI responds to some really, really tricky questions as well. So yeah, the AI Oracle, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But if you come over there, give it a cheeky little subscribe and a watch. This, yeah, thank you very much if you do that. Right, let's jump into the Soulforge, see what's going on there. I'm going to start with the weapons first. I'm not going to go over all the ones like this. They're here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. But we'll start off with the Boom Rock. But don't get it from here. Get it from the Invasion shop. It's going to be the same weapon, and you can just basically save your hard-earned diamonds this way. You're going to want to get it from the Invasion shop. You're going to spend the diamonds there anyway to do tiers and things like that. So you may as well get it from there. Much, much better. Right, so let's take a look at what it does. Deals magic +3 damage to the first 2 enemies, boosted by goblin allies. Don't know if it has the upgrade quick yet, which is extra turn. Some goblin weapons do have the quick upgrade, which is extra turn. I have to see about that. So sometimes it's the upgrade which make a weapon really good, but it has got damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by goblins. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Alright, next up we have the Flesh Ripper. Very, very good weapon indeed. Eliminate all armor through an enemy, then deal magic-based damage to them, boosted by armor eliminated. So not only do you strip away the armor immediately, no matter how much it is, which is fantastic against really high-level troops with just crazy amounts of armor, but you deal damage, but then that damage is boosted by the amount of armor they had. So if they had a huge amount of armor, it just gets even worse for them. It's an absolutely fantastic weapon. Absolutely great stuff. Love a bit of the Flesh Ripper. So Norbert's Turnip is one of the weapons that does have quick, which is the extra turn mechanic built into the upgrades there. You can see it there, quick, and does damage to an enemy boosted by goblin allies, then create a mix of 6 green and red gems for each goblin ally. Absolutely essential weapon to get today. If you haven't got this already, you absolutely need it. Just get it. Not only have you got the chance of an extra turn anyway, just by matching all those creating all those gems, but you get an extra turn even if you don't, and the chances are you've created some mana anyway for your other goblins, which charges them up, and all goblins get an extra turn. And this is one of the key weapons, which is sort of vital as part of the various teams where you can just make those non-stop looping goblin teams. So Norbert's Turnip, make sure you grab that today. Doomed Breaker. I read that as Doomed Beaker then, for some reason. That's a bit weird. Anyway, deal magic-based heavy splash damage to an enemy with a +4 per tempering level boost. Stun all green enemies. Cleanse all green allies. Explode 4 gems if the enemy hits a doom. Explode 3 more. I'm not too worried about that last bit, but the damage is actually okay on this if you got it tempered right up. And it's very good with a green team, all green team versus another all green team, depending upon what enemy you're fighting. If stunning them is particularly useful, then yeah, a really, really good weapon for that. So a bit situational, but it's actually not too bad, that one. Dagger of Zyjin, another weapon with the quick upgrade, which means it gets an extra turn. Remove all green gems with no effect, then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by those gems removed if the enemy is from Zyjin. If the battle is in Zyjin, deal double damage. So pretty situational, but still another really good weapon. And this is another one to try and craft today. It's really good. And it's one of the cheap ones as well, a mere 75 diamonds. So get that one too if you can. If you can only afford one, then I would say Norbert's Turnip is the one to get. Face stick. Splat! Take that, matey boy. Imagine getting twatted around the face with that. Dealing magic +3 splash damage to an enemy. How do you do splash damage? Oh, it must be your nose and your bits of skin come flying out, which then like damage enemies nearby. That's not very nice, is it? Or maybe bits of wood come flying off it. Anyway, I'm thinking too literally. Deal magic +3 splash damage to an enemy, then explode 8 gems of one of their mana colours. So that is a set in stone amount that explode 8 gems. That cannot change. So that's going to happen even if you're a newer player. So not a bad weapon for that. Damage with some mana gen. On the stars, say it all the time, but if you've not got this yet and you've got the resources, just make sure you get it because it's one of the best weapons. Well, it is the best weapon in the game. It's pretty much undeniable. Just amazing. Creates 6 elemental stars and bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curse all enemies. Bless is just amazing. It's like an ultra cleanse. It's a cleanse with the benefits of being made impervious at the same time. And curse kind of does the opposite. It curses all enemies, takes away all positive status effects, as well as makes them unimpervious. If they were impervious before or immune to anything, it takes all that away. So fantastic, absolutely amazing. As well as just ridiculous mana gen most of the time. It can backfire, but it doesn't generally if you cast the right option, depending upon the colours that are on the board. But I say craft it immediately, but it is here every single week. So given that caveat, and like Dagger of Zyjin and particularly Norbert's Turnip are essential, then make sure you get those ones first, because they won't be here next week. The Wonder Stars will, so do bear that in mind. Hack Job. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Zyjin allies, then create a mix of 6 green and brown gems for each Zyjin ally. You'll notice this creates or uses red and yellow, but creates green and brown. So it's going to create mana colours which you're not using right now. So make sure you just have a couple at least of green or brown using troops from Zyjin in your team to make use of all that lovely mana. And if they do, and if they're really powerful, it's a really, really good way of charging them up quickly. Godmother's Wand. Explode 3 gems and then create a wish gem. Haven't actually used it much. Don't like it on paper. Explode 3 gems is not many. A wish gem, if you're lucky, can work for you, but if not, it can actually aid the enemy. So yeah, just on paper, I'm not over keen on that one. On paper, it's not on paper. It's on the telly. Anyway, Gob Sticker. Explode magic +1 green gems. Grant a random status effect to all goblin allies and summon a goblin troop. So a nice explodey summoning weapon. I do like them. Exploding green gems. A status effect to all goblins and a summon. What's not to like about all of that? Rock Stabber, another explodey summoning weapon. Exploding magic +1 green gems again. Random status effect to all goblin allies and a goblin troop. So yeah, choice of explodey summoning weapons there. Not bad at all. Is that it, or do we have more? We have a Doomed Buckler. Gives magic +2 armor to an ally, +3 per tempering level. Give a barrier to all green allies and stun all green enemies. If the enemy hits a doom, then convert 3 green gems to giant green gems. Again, not too worried about the last part. It doesn't happen that often. Don't see doomed weapons or enemies in doomed enemies in teams anymore that are non-doom event forced, if you know what I mean. But yeah, nothing fantastic about that. Kind of collectible. Don't like these ones that just give armor and things like that. Quite often the enemy, the way they do damage is going to far outweigh that amount of armor you're giving, and it just becomes a, you know, the barrier is pretty good. If you're in an all-green team, that can actually make you quite resilient and harder to kill if you've got other enemy or other allies that do a significant amount of damage. So yeah, it can be good, but it's just not my favorite way of doing battles, so we say. Like, and it has got tangling as well, part of the upgrade, which means it entangles a top troop when you cast it. So it's more like a defensive weapon in a way, obviously. And like I say, if you have got other troops in your team which do significant or instant kills or quick kills, things like that, then it can actually be quite annoying to fight against. The Doomed Buckler. And that is it. So that is it for the weapons. Absolutely essential. There's so many good weapons here. It's the Norbert's Turnip, Dagger of Zygen, Flesh Ripper. Get them all if you can. It's like they're all that good. They really are. And like I say, Wonder Stars is essential, but here every single week. Right, on to the troops now. Let's take a look at these summoning stones first. You're looking for anybody that's empowered. Really good. That means they start with full mana. Any goblins, because goblins are just generally good because of the extra turn that gets built into every single one of them. Just have a little look through. See if there's anybody there that takes you... Ooh! See if anybody's there that takes your fancy, or say. And then Centurion pops up. If there's the kind of troops which aren't called a mythic, but they basically are mythic, it's kind of troops like this, which are exactly in that category. Centurion, absolutely amazing. There is a 10% chance to devour a random enemy, just straight off the bat, with a plus 10 boost for each wild card. And it creates wild cards anyway, 24% chance to create times 2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems, and then converts all skulls to times 2 wild cards. So if you get alignment on that, not only are you going to get an extra turn and absolutely stacks of mana for your team, but you boost up the chance of getting a devour at the same time. It works incredibly well with Zorgoth, but also really well with other troops at the same time. Absolutely incredible troop, amazing. Get Centurion. Make sure you spend some of these summoning stones today if you've not got Centurion. Absolutely essential. There's a couple of essential things today already. There's Goblin weapons and Centurion. Absolutely awesome stuff. Nothing too fantabulous there. And again, nothing too fantabulous there either. Or either. Anyway, not going down that road. It's a bit rocky and grumpy, whatever a grumpy road is. Probably cobbly with some pitfalls in it where you can like snag your ankle and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going off the... I need a sip of my tea. I'm going off the beaten path here. Do you see? Going off the beaten path while talking about a knobbly road. Oh, that was on the fly. Only I know how spectacular it is to live in my world all the time like this. Ah, right. Troops. Let's go over these mythics first. Right, so Meteorodon is the dragon on rotation this week. This is the one you get. This is the Cosmic Dragon on the path to crafting Stellarix. So if you still need Meteorodon, if it's the last dragon you need, I kind of say this every week as well. If it's the last one you need out of the Cosmic Dragons to complete the set, so you can continue on your path to crafting Stellarix, then I would say this is worth the extra Dragonite to get, because it's a guaranteed purchase, if you like. Yeah, it isn't more Dragonite, but you guaranteed it. You're not going to get any more duplicates. You're going to end that frustration, and for me, it's worth it for that alone. But you could get lucky and open a normal leg and get it anyway, but don't blame me then if you get a load of other duplicates and think, oh, it would have been better off spending the extra Dragonite, because I said so. There you go. I have spoken. All right. Anyway. Right, next up, we have... Alright, who's next? He's there all the time. Deathrock Drylac. He's not that great. In fact, it's pretty bad. Curse and Death Mark an enemy, then deal magic-based damage to all enemies below them, and summon Aberath. Trouble with that is you Curse and Death Mark somebody and then deal damage below. So to do the most of that, you have to Curse and Death Mark the top enemy, or the highest one that you can. And then it summons Aberath, which obviously can only be a summon if there's a space for it, which means you've actually had to have somebody die in your team. The trouble with the best trait is, gain 8 magic after an ally is summoned. If you haven't lost anybody yet, so there's no slot for that Aberrath to fill, it doesn't class as a summon, so you won't get that 8 magic. So to benefit from the third trait, you have actually had to have someone die in your team. Yes, mate, you look stupid, and you are stupid, and yeah, read your book, trying to work out how to make yourself good. Right, on to the next. Next up we have Hatire and Scroll. Convert all green gems to lycanthropy gems and all yellow gems to doom skulls and summon a winter wolf or warg. Interesting spell, that one, because you can look out for those yellow gems to doom skulls conversion and also the green gems to lycanthropy gems, which have a chance to transform a random enemy into a beast. It is good. It works really well with a Weir Stag, if I'm remembering this correctly. Those lycanthropy gems, when you cast this first, a Weir Stag creates something like 3 doom skulls for each lycanthropy gem on the board. So with those lycanthropy gems left behind, when you cast this first, you cast a Weir Stag and it creates just a ridiculous amount of doom skulls. And the traits aren't too bad either. So yeah, a bit specialist, but the Hatire and Scroll are not a bad troop at all. Obsidious. Very good when you need stun. Very good versus Queen Beatrix teams and things like that. The ones that are really annoying, so keep on getting cleansed non-stop and stuff like that, or just got annoying traits you want to get rid of. Earthquake. Stun all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches. Just get a 4 match and stun the entire enemy team. Providing they're not immune, of course. But yeah, that's one of the main things you use Obsidians for. And the spell's just alright to me, doing magic-based amount of heavy splash damage to a random enemy, destroy a 5x5 block, and then a 50% chance to deal the same amount of light splash damage to a random enemy. So yeah, good for the trait. The spell is alright. Damage with some mana gen as well. Nothing too spectacular though. Next up, the Wild Queen. Steal up to a magic-based amount of attack from an enemy and give it to the first ally, making their skull hits absolutely deadly, and then create a mix of 22 skulls and green gems. So the combination of that big attack now on your first ally with all those skulls and green gems not only gives her a chance to charge up again, but obviously creates all those skulls for that first ally to do a ton of damage. The trouble with it is sometimes it can actually backfire and go wrong, and you don't get the extra turn or not a lot of mana gen from it, and no skull matches, and set up the enemy in a massive way for some mega retaliation. The good thing about it is if you decide to steal that attack from the top enemy, so you reduce the amount of damage that they do, you know, if it backfires, it's not going to go as badly wrong as if you didn't steal that attack from the first enemy. The downside of that is, because obviously the first enemy is the one you attack, the idea is that the skulls do match and you kill them pretty quickly. So you've taken away the attack from somebody who's not going to be there anymore. So ideally you want to take it from someone further down, say second or third place. But then you get the risk of, what if this backfires? So it's an interesting troop. She is devastating when it works, and she's an absolute pain in the boobicles. I don't know, just the first thing that comes to my mind when looking at her, if it goes wrong. You can combat against it or protect yourself against it by having weapons or troops that entangle the top troop or top 2 troops just in case it goes wrong. And you do have to think that way with her, unfortunately. She is a real wild child, as it says. I do like to use her, but I do it with a little bit of while hiding behind the bed kind of thing when I cast her, and that's why I do like to have entangle mechanics in the team when I use her. Nothing special about the traits, unfortunately. Allied wild folk gain 2 life. Summon a bone storm when an ally dies. Yeah, great, you got to lose somebody to get that, but it does really help the spell then. And then all wild folk allies gain 2 attack at the start of every turn. So yeah, the Wild Queen, she is very, very good indeed when she's in a good mood, and she's an absolute pain when she's in a bad mood. You have been warned, but she is rather all-round excellent. Was that it? Was that 4? Wild Queen, Obsidious? Oh yeah, it was, yeah. Right, so let's have a quick little look now at the legendaries. Don't usually stay to craft these because your diamonds are much better spent on the mythics in general, unless it's somebody amazing like a Tesla or Yao Guai. So we have the Dragon Soul, exploding gems, dealing a very small amount of damage to all enemies. It's just very meh these days. Nothing too special about it anymore. And we have Queen Moonclaw, creating 9 skulls, boosted by green allies and enemies, and summon a random null. Again, nothing too spectacular there, although can work well in certain teams. Next up, Captain McCaw. Really, really good. Does damage to an enemy. If they're submerged, just kill them. Otherwise, submerge them. You can make them submerged and kill them if you can get it charged up again nice and quick. But against those teams that start off with somebody submerged, or they've got the deluge talent tree, so they submerge themselves when they get a 4 match or whatever, something like that, trying to hide from damage to all troop, this will just kill them outright. It's like a mini Zul'Goth without all the extras. It's just like an instant kill. And all rogue allies start with 50% mana too, so very, very good in certain circumstances is Captain McCaw. And there's one more in there. Yes, the Nexus portal. Create 4 to 6 elemental stars and summon a random Nexus troop. So you get a summon and you get that random amount of mana from those elemental stars. So it can be good as well. And conjure a elemental storm when matching 4 more gems. Right, so who is my mythic of the week out of this little lot here? Well, as much as she can be in a bad mood sometimes and really make you go, oh my god, what have you just done, woman? She can be absolutely mega, mega devastating at the same time. So the mythic of the week does go to the Wild Queen. And now on to the Invasion event. I'm going to show a really, really cool team for this. Should make absolute mincemeat of the Invasion event. Before I do that, a little plug. I've got a new channel I've just started called the AI Oracle. And it's should be a lot of fun because it is entirely run by itself. The AI Oracle is a AI run channel where it decides everything. It chose the channel name, it designed the banner, it designs the thumbnails, it decides what it's going to speak about, what the headline should be, if it replies to any comments, and it actually replies to the comments as well. And I just input what it tells me what to do, basically. It's an interesting concept. So if you could pop over to the AI Oracle and give that a sub and a like and a view, it'd be really cool. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But on to this now. You must use the event captain Mock the Cannon Rider in your team for ×2 magic and ×2 score for this event only. And you get that from the shop. Totally recommend buying tier 1, 2 and 3. Tier 1 you get the potion of enchantment anyway, and you have to buy the tiers in order, so you can pick that up anyway. Tier 2 you get Mock the Cannon Rider. Does damage to an enemy. If they're a tower, deal 3 to 5 times damage based on your ascensions, then explode 2 to 3 gems and gain an extra turn. So damage, big damage versus towers when there is ascended, mana gen and an extra turn. Really, really cool troop. And obviously has that siege breaker trait, but we don't really need that for this because we can be doing damage with our other troops at the same time. But get it there. And at tier 3, you pick up a new weapon. Totally worth getting. Damage to the first 2 enemies boosted by Goblin allies. In fact, I said I was going to have a look at that, didn't I, and see what the upgrades were. So let's do that now. And let's go to upgradable. Let's take a look at what the upgrades are. Right. Armor bonus, attack bonus, attack bonus, attack bonus. I'm looking for... Is it going to have quick? Burn the first enemy. Scatter damage. Crazy. Give a random ally 2 mana. That's completely crazy. That's off the chart and nuts. Ah, no quick. Ah, well, we'll get it anyway. But, yeah. Not fantastic traits. Lightning's actually better than what a lot of people think it is. Deal 5 scatter damage. It's really good when the entire enemy team's like barriered itself. It's a really cheap way of just getting rid of the barrier on all the enemy. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's go back to the invasion. Right, so for this, to get your Mock the Cannon Rider to a mythic level, you can either buy enough tiers to pick up enough copies of it to get it to mythic level that way, or just get it at tier 2, back out of here, and then use 2 Orbs of Ascension to get it to mythic level that way, if you so choose. But it's not required, it's not essential, just makes it a little bit easier. Right, onto the team for this. Now, no mythic required for this, and I would not be surprised if a lot of people have come up with this team anyway, because it kind of is almost a auto pick team in a way. I mean, we need this. So you need that to get those extra bonuses. Norbert's turnip is so good, it's just ridiculous. You can get that from the Soulforge shop at the moment anyway. Damage to an enemy boosted by goblins. Then create a mix of 6 green and red gems for each goblin ally. And it's got quick as well, which is extra turn. So damage with a load of green and red. Red, Toad Squeezer. I love this idea. I've been doing this for a long time now on these invasion events by having a top troop, a second one, which is a siege breaker. Does extra skull damage, and it just does tons of damage when you get those skulls and just wipes through the enemy. And because it uses red, then Norbert's turnip feeds into it. The green is going to feed into King Gobtruffle. Again, one of the best goblins in the game. Damage to all, creates loads of green and brown. The green feeds into himself, the brown feeds into Norbert's turnip or Mock the Cannon Rider, and you just keep on repeating the process. It's like I say, it's almost an auto pick team in a way, so we have to be in a thief class for this because we want to make sure we're a goblin at the same time. Very good traits indeed. Gain 2 bonus gold and 4 to 5 gem matches, just slow but sure adds up. Start battles with 50% mana and deal 7 damage to the last enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. And talent trees will have hunt, we'll have knife throwing, we'll have a little bit of wind speed. In fact, we don't need that, we'll have light fingers because I'm going to have a Medal of Anu on this. I'm going to have a backup, going to have stealthy, dodge, and rising shadows. So yeah, very, very straightforward. So 2 medals of Nisha and 1 medal of Anu, just to give our other troops a little bit of a head start on this, because this is going to be a loopy doopy team, which is going to loop on itself and just wipe out the enemy anyway. So let's just do these first couple of early stages, then we'll jump forward a bit and we'll show what we can do a little bit later on when things allegedly get a little bit harder. So we can do this. Let's just do damage to them. As soon as the Gobtruffle's up, it's over on these early stages, so we'll be very, very straightforward. And on to the next. As soon as Gobtruffle's up, you just cast that on the early stages. He'll loop on himself sometimes. You can even just look for green straight away if it's there. We'll get that because it's going to be an extra turn on the red above. Let's do this. Damage, exploding gems, charges up. You can just do one or the other, the turnip, or that, or the toad squeezer. And even if Gobtruffle didn't get charged up, it's still just going to work. This is going to be one of the easiest invasion events we've ever had. Providing we don't start frozen anywhere, of course. There's our turnip. There's our damage. There's all our mana. There's Gobtruffle. There's death. Right, this is a bit easy. Let's jump forward a bit. Right, jump forward a bit to stage 4. 2 towers have started appearing. But yeah, still really, really straightforward with this team. Just everything's got an extra turn. It just kind of just wins really, really very easily indeed. So let's get that weapon up. That mighty turnip. Let's cast that on anybody. Gone in on your way. There's the extra turn. Let's do the same with Toad Squeezer. Let's do a bit of extra damage with Gobtruffle with an extra turn, and just, yeah, wasn't even looking for skulls. If I'd got skulls in when those towers were there, we'd obviously done the extra damage. If you get those skull hits, just happen automatically because of the cascade you get when you do things with this team, then you're going to wipe out those towers as well really, really easily. You can actually target them as well. Looks like you want to get rid of that one there. You can do extra damage on them. Let's do that on him, or that. Let's do a bit of Toad Squeezer again. Oh, we should have done the troop there, the one at the bottom, so it does the extra damage versus towers. But yeah, it just works anyway because you've got extra turns everywhere. It's ludicrous. Let's just do this one. And we'll jump forward maybe a bit more. See, there you go. There's Toad Squeezer coming into play, and there's another one. I mean, how easy was that? That's ludicrous. Filth. Jump forward a little bit more, but yeah, this team's absolutely whizzing through this event like a knife through butter. Very, very straightforward indeed. And when the when you get it like that, just take out anybody you like with either Mock or Toad Squeezer. You can even soften them up with Gobtruffle if you like. We'll grab a bit of that first though. Let's do that damage on the bottom one. I think we could have finished off with it anyway with Gobtruffle, but hey, Very, very straightforward event with this team. And now onto the Underspire team. I'm only going to show a few battles here because it's kind of similar to the last one, but we are restricted to Zygen troops this time. So this time I'm going to go with Nobbin Brothers, Norbert's Turnip, King Gobtruffle and String Fiddler. Norbert's Turnip, as we saw on the last team, does damage to an enemy with that boost by goblins, then creates a mix of 6 green and red gems for each goblin ally. The green will feed into King Gobtruffle and String Fiddler, and the red will feed into the top troop, Nobbin Brothers. And it does 3 different things, but the cool thing about this troop is, if it does any of them, it's going to be good and beneficial to your team. Eliminates magic +2 attack from either enemies, from all enemies rather. If it does that, it means you're going to be safe from skull hits very quickly indeed. Or deals the same amount of damage to all enemies, again, good, need to do damage, or explode a ton of gems, charging up the team. So whatever them things happen, it's good, so it can't really go wrong, even though it's one of those or type of troops. So yeah, really, really good. King Gobtruffle does that damage to all, then creates loads of green and brown. If it's green, it feeds into himself and String Fiddler. If it's brown, it feeds into Nobbin Brothers. And Norbert's Turnip, and I forgot to say Nobbin Brothers does gain an extra turn as well, of course. And String Fiddler, really good, particularly for the later stages. For silencing an enemy, they can't collect mana or cast spells, and explodes gems and gains an extra turn. So we use all the colours here. We're using red, brown, yellow, blue, green and purple. So going to have a plain old +2 woodland banner for this. Don't waste any mana, and we're still going to be in Thief class with exactly the same talent trees as we had before. So let's just jump into this and see how it goes. But I know how it's going to go. It's going to go really well, because that's the way it goes. What we're doing? Should we kill them anyway? Why not? Oh, we had that Rising Shadows come in, look. Fantastic. When you get that 7% chance to just kill someone else outright. It's so nice when that happens. It can just happen really, really quickly sometimes. Right, let's get the weapon up, say. We'll get an extra turn while it's there. Obviously it won't be as fast as the invasion team. Don't get the potion of enchantment or the explosion at the beginning and things like that, but get a bit of luck with the colours at the beginning. It can still be pretty quick. Sledge paw. Right, let's bash them around the bunts. Say an awful lot of yellow. Let's do this. There's our extra turn. There's Gobtruffle. No need to get that red, because we're going to win anyway. So as things progress in the Underspire, if you go further and deeper, then you're going to want to cast String Fiddler when he gets there to silence the enemy. Nobbin Brothers, if you get that reduce attack option that you can choose sometimes, that's going to reduce the damage from skulls, making it easier. Should have got that green match up top there first then really, but hey ho, it is what it is. Oh, I knew there was a 4 match there somewhere. Could see it. Oh, we got that nice sneak attack there, just wiping them out, and done the damage to all to finish off. Right, let's make this the last one. Let's pop into this room here. Let's see what we get from here. Probably nothing good. Right, what we got? Let's get ourselves some yellow and a yellow extra turn there, and Gobtruffle is up, and we'll finish off. So really easy. Underspire team there to whiz through the Underspire. Well, there's a video, and remember, if you can, to pop over to the AI Oracle, my new channel. The link is in the description below. A channel entirely run by AI. I make none of the decisions. I just input the decisions that the AI makes. It chooses everything. It shows the name of the channel. It designs the banner. It designs the thumbnails for each video. It decides what the next video should be. It decides what to talk about. It decides who to reply to a comment to, and it decides what to say in them comments. It decides who it's going to answer to, because you're allowed to ask it a question related to a video, and it will come up with its answer and maybe another video based on that. It's quite a cool concept. I hope it actually works and does something significant, because I really like the idea of the AI just basically choosing what it's going to do and being asked some really awkward questions as well. People have already asked a couple of interesting questions in the comments, which I'm quite interested to see how it will respond. But anyway, pop over there. The link's in the description below. But thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.